Have you ever thought that your life was getting out of hand, like you were just a passenger on a crazy ride? That doesn't seem to slow down. You might have struggled with emotions that fluctuate in intensity and frequency. One after another, they overwhelm you, making it difficult for you to breathe. Warriors, what if I told you there's an old idea that has helped a lot of people? Everyday people find their center in the middle of life's chaos. Stoicism is a way of thinking that can teach you a lot about how to control your feelings, deal with problems with grace, and reclaim power you may not realize you have. The information you've been giving away today isn't just about general thoughts or historical figures. We're going to look at the most important Stoic ideas and how they can change your everyday life. Some of you may be wondering how thoughts from over 2,000 years ago help me now. However, if you're open to challenging your own beliefs, if you're interested in learning more about something that has the potential to significantly alter your perspective, then continue reading. I guarantee you'll appreciate Stoicism after this video. It is not just a thing of the past. It's a powerful set of tools for living a calmer life. Leave a comment below if you want to share your thoughts on living a strong and meaningful life. If you're interested in learning about things from different points of view and are open to new ideas, tell us about your experiences with Stoicism, whether you know a lot about it or just now. As you begin your investigation, express your gratitude for the life lessons you've already learned. Let's form a group that prioritizes progress and philosophical understanding. In this video, we'll cover 11 Stoic lessons to help you master them. These aren't just tips for the surface. They're big changes that will affect how you feel. I'm going to question some of the things you believe about the world and your place in it. Please watch all the way to the end. It might even get you out of your comfort zone. You'll leave with tools that can transform your approach to the inevitable events in life. It has its ups and downs, so if you're ready to start this journey of self-discovery, don't forget to click subscribe, like, and share this video. If you want more than the ordinary, let's try Stoicism together. You never know what might happen. You might find that all along you were empowered to do what you've been looking for. What's really going on when you face a challenge? There is a situation in front of you. That's not what you normally do, right? Life is telling us, hey, how will you handle this challenging situation you're unfamiliar with? Socrates uses a powerful technique known as reframing. Marcus Aurelius once stated that we should view problems as opportunities. What gets in the way of action becomes the way of action. This implies that every problem presents an opportunity to innovate, a chance to learn and grow. Let's show it in real life. Think about the time you lost your job, which most people would consider a big setback. It's okay to be angry, worried, or even scared. But this calm lesson will help you deal with those feelings. You might ask, what does this teach me? What chances does this give you? Those things that I didn't have when I had that old job. It could be the time, in order to follow an interest you've been putting off or to switch to a more fulfilling job. Just taking the time to think about what you really want from life could help. Seeing past problems is more important than denying their pain. I think the current struggle is about changing how we see each challenge. Use it as a stepping stone instead of a problem. This helps us not only deal with problems better, but we also let new opportunities in. This way of doing things doesn't just get us through challenging times. It makes us grow, change something that could have been a problem into a way to reach something great. Therefore, when life presents unexpected challenges, strive to seize them and return them. Look for the opportunities that lie within the problems. Consider how you can enhance this situation. It might be helpful. It's a big change in perspective that can lead to making significant changes in your life. And remember that our approach to problem-solving matters and can show us the way forward. Why is it important to ask yourself questions? Stoicism teaches us a lot. The things that bother us are not the events themselves, but the ways we think about them. Epictetus, who advocated for self-examination, is the source of this idea. By posing questions that provoke thought, we can challenge and modify these perspectives. This gives us more control over how we respond. Here's an example from real life. Imagine yourself caught in traffic, your frustration mounting. Now ask yourself, will this still be important in 5 years? Suddenly, it brings the situation into focus. Putting things in perspective, this question helps you see that even though it's annoying right now, in the grand order of things, it's not that important. It's not meant to make you feel less important. However, we aim to equip you with the necessary tools to concentrate on what truly matters. Another powerful question that Stoics use is, what's within my control? Stoicism's central question helps you determine what you can and cannot change. You must accept that you are powerless to halt the traffic congestion. You are in charge of how you react to it, though. You could pick up a podcast instead. Plan your day, or just take some time to think about these questions. Encourage a highly active form of awareness rather than allowing it to fade away. Your first reactions make you step back and consider your feelings and thoughts. This doesn't just work when adverse things happen, it also works when beneficial things happen. I want to learn what I can from this experience. Can make the beneficial effects stronger of good events. This habit of pausing and thinking is not just about managing the current situation. It's also about empowering everyone and your smart future self. Every time you do this kind of thinking, you're teaching your mind to think and act more clearly. It's about developing an attitude. It naturally attracts people to positive thoughts and actions. So the next time you find yourself responding without thinking, ask yourself a question. Adding magic to the mix could change the way you see and deal with the world. That's the real power of Stoic practice. It can make what seems like simple self-reflection into something powerful in deep changes in their lives. Given their intelligence, the Stoics accurately identified the distinction between power and control. Epictetus once said, "Some things we can control, others we can't." It seems pretty simple, right? However, the effects are huge if we only spend our energy on focusing on things we can actually change. We can greatly reduce our stress. To make us more useful, consider how often we worry about things that are beyond our control. We can't change things like traffic, the weather, or even what other people do. Despite our current desire to let go of our anger, instead, concentrate on what you can alter, such as how you prepare for inclement weather. How do you respond to someone else's behavior, or when do you leave to avoid traffic? This concept not only helps us deal with annoying things, it also makes our relationships better. In our personal and business lives, when we talk to friends or co-workers, we need to be aware of what we can't change. This helps us avoid unnecessary conflicts. For example, you can't change someone else's mood. However, you have the freedom to decide how to manage the situation and whether to worsen it or make it calmer. Using this lesson means practicing awareness. You need to ask yourself where your true power lies. Is it possible for me to change this, or am I trying to push a boulder uphill? If the second scenario is true, you might want to reconsider your strategy and practice consistently. By learning this Stoic lesson, we can find inner peace and strength. Stoicism gives you freedom by letting go of a heavy load you never really had to hold. Coordinating our efforts is a useful way to lessen our own pain. We are taking care of what we can, so the next time you get upset about something, remember that. Take a moment to think about whether this is something I can handle. Imagine how liberating it would be to let go of that and concentrate on where you can make a difference. There is a significant difference. The focus is on strategically allocating resources, not on giving up. Given your time and attention, it's about making the most important moves in life. Follow the timeless advice of Stoicism. It's natural to want to respond right away to everything that happens in our fast-paced world. I aim to promptly respond to every email and comment on every social media post. But Stoicism values the stop and the moment. We should consider our actions before taking them. This may seem like an effortless idea, but it's very powerful. When we use it, think about how many times we've said something quickly that we later felt awful about, or made a hasty choice that turned out to be the wrong one. Stoicism tells us that the best way to avoid these problems is to think about them. By stepping back, we give ourselves time to think and figure out what's going on from all sides, and to act not based on feelings, but on good judgment. Seneca was all about taking time to think and observe. He pushed for a measured approach to life, where people watch their feelings and urges instead of letting them control them. We can ask ourselves, why do I feel the need to respond so quickly? Should we make this decision? We leave room for wisdom to play a part in our choice. We can start by adding this short break to our daily lives in small ways. For instance, when you get an angry email, don't respond with anger. Instead, think about what you can do to calm down. Just breathe, wait an hour or even a day, and think about what you're going to say. This enables you to respond more thoughtfully, often leading to improved outcomes. The excellent thing about this Stoic practice is that it not only keeps you from having regrets, but it also helps you grow deeper. Having a better understanding of ourselves and what drives us makes us more aware. This can impact every aspect of our lives, starting from the decisions we make at work to our personal relationships, and even the conversations we have with ourselves. By taking this reflective break often, we not only make better choices. However, you should also focus on increasing your awareness of your destiny as you navigate through the world. It's about deciding not to let our first reactions control us, and instead letting them lead us with careful consideration. When we hear the word journaling, many of us envision teens writing secrets in diaries. But in the world of Stoicism, it's a powerful way to improve yourself and reflect on your past. Stoic journaling is a systematic process that's not just about remembering things or letting out your feelings. The famous Stoic philosopher wrote to help people become wiser and stronger. Marcus Aurelius may have been the most well-known person who did this. Among his thoughts are a collection of personal essays that go into detail about the problems he faced, and thoughts on his life through writing in a notebook, Marcus Aurelius' work. To clarify his thoughts, examine his actions more closely, and improve his situation. His Stoicism prevented him from wanting his works published. However, if Stoic writing is a method for improving and understanding philosophy, how does it function? It's simple and very powerful. You start by writing down what you do every day. But the goal is to watch yourself, with a focus on looking at your responses and movements. From a distance, consider how your actions align with your values. For example, if you were having a bad day at work, you wouldn't just write. Instead of talking about how mad you were, you'd look into why you acted that way. What does this response indicate about your hopes or judgments, and what actions could you take to address it? Maintaining a log in this manner will greatly benefit you in the future. Self-awareness encourages us to pose challenging questions to ourselves. Am I living my life by my principles, or what good things did I do today? When you reflect on these questions daily, you begin to identify patterns in your behavior that you may wish to modify. It's about figuring out your skills and weaknesses and making plans to improve yourself. Another excellent thing about Stoic writing is that it lets you talk to yourself privately. You don't have to hide or worry about others here. You can be fully honest with yourself, which is important for real self-reflection and growth. Writing in a book every day doesn't have to take a lot of time. Even a short amount of time every day can help you come up with excellent ideas that you could write down in the morning, make plans for the day, or reflect on what happened in the evening and what you've learned over time about how this practice can make big changes in how you see yourself and interact with the world. If you've never kept a book or don't believe it can help you, I think you should give it a try and think of it as an experiment in living more intentionally. You may find that this Stoic practice helps you learn more about yourself and become wiser. Every page, one of the most important and difficult things we've learned about Stoicism. What does the term non-attachment now mean when we hear it? Some people might mistakenly believe that it implies a lack of concern for anyone or anything, but this is not the case. Stoicism gives us a new way to deal with our feelings and a deeper way to live. While the idea is straightforward and deep, it can be challenging to handle the ups and downs it brings. You can feel things, have relationships, and follow your interests. However, maintain a certain distance from it. This does not imply a lack of concern. It means you don't let these things control you. Picture it like going to the theater. Attending a theater allows you to immerse yourself in the narrative and experience the joy and sorrow of the characters. But deep down, you know it's just a show, no matter how powerful the scene is. Sitting calmly is the kind of distance that Stoicism supports. What does this mean? Because things change and stay the same in life. If our happiness depends only on results, how well a project turns out or how a friend acts, then we won't be happy. With the ups and downs of our earnings, we set ourselves up for constant trouble. Epictetus and other Stoics said that we should focus on our efforts and let go of the results. This method doesn't make us less motivated. Instead, it makes us feel better. When we practice non-attachment, external events don't constantly affect us. It also means realizing that we don't own the things or people in our lives, not even the times. By realizing that everything changes, we can enjoy our situations more fully, without the fear of losing them and getting in the way of our pleasure. Consider the freedom of loving someone without needing them. For real, self-sufficient love, learning non-attachment doesn't happen overnight. It requires awareness and regular reflection. It's about asking yourself, do I care too much about this? What am I holding on to that I don't need? Prepare mentally for the possibility that things won't go as planned. Choosing to say that you don't care if they don't include non-attachment brings more joy into your life. You become more like a skilled surfer. Life's waves keep coming at you, some small and some enormous and exciting. Some situations may be overwhelming, but with non-attachment, you can manage them all with grace and balance, ready for anything that comes next, and loving the ride but not falling over when the waves hit. This is one of the most inspiring lessons from Stoicism, and perhaps one of the best lessons for everyone. The process of becoming more grateful through Stoicism. It's not enough to just say, thank you. You need to show your deep and lasting gratitude. For everything in life, the good, the hard, and even the boring things that seem to happen every day. They believe that if we focus on what we already have, rather than what we desire or lack, Seneca once said that we can keep our minds calm and happy. Truly pleased people enjoy the present without worrying about what they need to do next. Thinking about the future. This idea shows how important it is to value the present moment, seeing the worth in every moment and everything around us. It's simple to forget about or take for granted the little things that make life worth living. Many of us take for granted. When was the last time you were truly grateful? Stoicism teaches us to be grateful for simple things like a warm bed, a meal, or a quiet moment by ourselves. You should value these things consistently, not just when you're happy or have a lot of money, but being grateful goes beyond enjoying what you have now. There is also a greater understanding that life's problems are chances to grow. When things go wrong, we don't have to feel wronged or angry. Instead, we can ask ourselves, what does this teach me? How can this help me grow? This change in viewpoint can change the way we live our lives by turning problems into lessons and building a strong positive attitude by showing thanks. Additionally, it enhances our relationships by consistently acknowledging and expressing gratitude. Because of what other people do, we create a good atmosphere that promotes kindness and exchange. This is good for me personally, but it can also affect how we deal with others and the people in our community. How can you begin to cultivate a greater sense of thankfulness in your life? That's it. All you have to do is write down a few things you're grateful for every day. Make it a habit to think of a few good things every day. Before bed or first thing in the morning, do these things every day. Over time, they become habits. Change your perspective and deepen your connection to the world. One important part of Stoicism is the idea that you should have the amazing power to keep going. Socrates thought that sticking with something even when it gets challenging and rocky was more than just a necessary virtue. This trait is not only essential for navigating through challenging times, but it is also a fundamental aspect of leading a fulfilling life. Every day, you have to show up dedicated to your values and your growth. Think for a moment about the picture of a river. No matter what life throws at you, it continues to move past obstacles even when it encounters a boulder. That's the main point. It runs over it or wears it down over time. Stoic perseverance is about going forward like a river that won't stop. Adjusting, persevering, and by sticking with it, you can change the course of your life. Seneca said it so well when he said, "A gem cannot be polished. Without pressure and without trials, a man cannot be wise." It not only shows how important difficulties are for personal growth. However, it also reiterates that confronting these challenges is what strengthens us. It's similar to smoothing a rough stone, but the key is persistence. It's not about slogging through life. It's about staying determined. With hope and a feeling of purpose, it's about taking on challenges with the knowledge that these are opportunities to test your ideals and see how they function, whether they are moving forward or not. Maintaining integrity in challenging circumstances or persistently striving is crucial. Perseverance is about making sure that your actions are in line with your greater goals, even when things go wrong. Philosophical beliefs can help you understand the importance of perseverance. You can begin by setting and adhering to small, achievable goals. Like exercising a muscle, it gets stronger with practice. The more times you choose to persevere, the stronger your resolve becomes. You're building a habit of being strong. That will help you deal with bigger problems in the future, so the next time you face a difficult task, remember the somber perspective on persistence. Thoughtfully consider how this task could be a chance to improve your character and skills, and gain a better idea of what you can really do. Accept the struggle. Instead of viewing it as a problem, view it as an opportunity to better yourself and grow. In the Stoic sense, sticking with something even after it fails or goes wrong changes it into something else. To turn them into steps toward a smarter, happier self. It's about developing a spirit that won't give up. It finds strength and direction in Stoic wisdom to help you deal with the difficulties of life. Having courage and being calm, Aristotle said that time is like a river made up of things that happen, and a strong stream because things are taken away as soon as they are seen. and something else emerges to take its place. His words remind us that something else will also take its place, that everything around us is always changing, and sticking to any time or place is like trying to hold water in our hands. Accepting change isn't the same thing as embracing it. Embracing change means seeing how it helps us grow, and growth, it's about seeing change as a chance to put our values into action. We adjust our plans when we recognize that things will always change. Think about the last time you controlled your emotions and reactions. A significant change, such as losing your job or moving to a new place, upended your life. Whether it's a sudden shift in a relationship, these moments can be extremely stressful. However, they also provide us with a unique opportunity to reflect on our goals and ideals, seeing how we can fit in, or what new doors these changes may open. We begin to turn possible losses into opportunities for growth. Letting go of the past and the future so you can focus on the present is also part of accepting change. At the same time, we can plan for tomorrow and learn from yesterday. We live and act in the present, which frees us from worry or longing for what used to motivate us. I am taking this Stoic lesson with purpose and focus in the present. Start making changes in your life by paying attention to the ones you usually fight. Think about why you don't want these changes and what fears or hopes motivate you. Try to see these changes as chances for growth and opportunity, instead of as things that need to be lost or messed up. Small steps of being open and flexible will help you build resilience over time, and flexibility, which are important parts of Stoic knowledge. Mindfulness may seem like a new word, but it has deep roots in the old Stoic philosophy. Stoics knew that being mindful meant paying close attention to our deeds and thoughts. Being in the present moment is important for having a good and wise life. You should stay in the present and avoid dwelling on the past or excessively worrying about the future. When it comes to Stoicism, what does mindfulness mean? It involves recognizing our own thoughts and emotions without passing judgment on them. Understanding how they influence our behavior is crucial for Stoicism. People think that our feelings match our opinions, so things don't bother us. However, depending on our perspective, awareness aids in recognizing this distinction and picking our words more carefully. For example, let's say you're in an upset argument. It's simple to let strong feelings take over, but mindfulness can help you notice them. When they arise, it provides an opportunity for you to pause and consider your next words. This moment of stillness is strong. It can mean the difference between an upset outburst you'll later regret and a calm one. This is an encouraging response that incorporates awareness in daily life and starts with simple things. Doing nothing for a few minutes every day might be a beneficial place to start. Feeling the air come in and go out of your body grounds you in the moment or during a normal task. While performing tasks such as washing dishes or walking to work, you have the opportunity to fully engage all of your senses. Instead of worrying about yesterday's issues or tomorrow's tasks, mindfulness exercise not only makes us stronger emotionally, it also makes us smarter. How well can we focus and engage in life? Even without modern technology, Stoics knew how important it was to focus on what mattered. Outside demands didn't pull them in different directions, allowing them to concentrate on what mattered. Knowing what they can control and letting go of what they can't leads to the development of inner peace. The power of mindfulness also stretches to how we live our moral lives. We live more consciously in line with our ideals because of our moral choices and the reasons we make them. This doesn't mean we'll always make the right choice. We'll be more aware of how we make them. This is more in line with our morals, so let's set ourselves a challenge. Practice mindfulness daily for 1 or 2 minutes and build up. You'll become accustomed to practicing this skill more as you improve. You'll probably feel more connected, have a calmer mind, and have a heart that is more open to the present time. The idea of acceptance is one of the most freeing ideas in Stoicism. Ignoring our desires doesn't mean accepting life. It's not about giving up and letting fate happen to us without trying or caring. It's about realizing our capabilities and how to live peacefully within them. According to Stoics, we can only control ourselves, not our circumstances, our thoughts, and our actions. The freedom that comes from accepting things as they are is deep. You must understand that many things will remain beyond our reach. That's okay. Acceptance allows us to release unnecessary stress and worry about things we can't change, like situations. We can get upset at the weather if a storm breaks our plans to be outside. Alternatively, we can adapt to the current weather conditions and modify our plans as necessary. This change from being frustrated and giving in not only stabilizes our moods, but it also enables us to new options. That rainy day could be a chance to read a book, watch a favorite video, or spend time with family and friends inside. However, acceptance is more than just navigating through challenging circumstances. It's a crucial component of managing the tougher things in life, like loss, failure, or change. Accepting that these things are going to happen can greatly lessen our suffering. It changes our relationship, but it doesn't make the pain or trouble go away. Instead of getting stuck in a loop of, "Why me?" With those events, if something shouldn't be this way, we can accept it as it is and deal with it accordingly. This way of thinking gives us power. It doesn't take away our freedom. Instead, it makes us stronger in our resolve to keep going. In real life, acceptance means living day to day, sometimes moment to moment. We need to be careful when recalibrating our standards and thoughts, catching ourselves when we start to think about or fight every time we practice acceptance. There are things about life that we can't change. We get better at separating ourselves from chaos and getting along better. Our conservative values don't stop us from improving things. We know what's right and wrong, so we act spiritually and wisely. We're able to focus our efforts better because we're not fighting things that won't move. When we think about what we're doing, it makes us more thoughtful and likely more effective. Welcome to Stoic Journal. We're glad you've decided to grow and learn with us. Continue your exploration by watching one of the mentioned videos. The screen continues to grow stronger and more peaceful through Stoicism. The journey you're on is just starting, and each step will make you stronger. For joining our group and enriching your life, thank you. Until next time, keep looking, keep trying, and keep getting better.